If I traded it all, if I gave it
Welcome back.
away for one thing, wouldn't that be
Where's my paperwork? I'm excited about bringing on my next guest, who is Dr. Woolton, and for some reason, I don't have my paperwork in front of me, so here it is. I've just put it over here. I'm sorry about that. Here we go. So welcome to the show. Doctor, tell us a little bit about yourself. You are the owner of Legacy Wealth Strategies. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do.
All right. Well, what we do, I'm actually a healthcare practitioner by trade, and I make my patients physically healthy. With Legacy Wealth Strategies, we're working with clients trying to make them fiscally healthy. We try to teach people how to gain control of their money and make their money more efficient.
Well, how do you do that with people? How do you do that? Because everybody would really love to learn how to do that.
Well, 5 years ago, I discovered this system, and it is a system. And so when I found out, it kind of challenged my mind of what I was thinking about money. And I was kind of upset with my parents, my grandparents, and said, okay, why didn't they share this with me? But they didn't really know. And so this has been around for a long, long time. And when you control your money, you can really control your life.
Okay, so what is this system? Let's talk a little bit about it, because I'm glad you're going to tell us, because we all need to know. We're all mad at our grandparents and our parents. Go ahead.
For lots of different reasons, right? Well, what we do, we create a bank. And we create a bank, what we call a private family financial system, using a whole life insurance policy with a mutually owned company that pays dividends. And you may ask, why would you do that? And the number one reason is because that's what banks do. They're the number one purchasers of whole life insurance. So all we're doing is mimicking what a bank does. Walmart's the number one company that does this. So either you think banks may know something about money in Walmart, or you continue to do what you're doing.
Now, you have a book that you are going to give to everyone. So we want to open up the lines to the audience for them to get this. The book is called Becoming Your Own Banker. It's called Unlock the Infinite Banking Concepts. It's by best-selling author R. Nelson Nash. Tell them about the book. We're going to give away 3 of them here on the air, so everyone's going to get entered into win. Tell us a little bit about the book and what it goes through.
Well, R. Nelson Nash actually kind of unlocked the secrets here. And this book came out in 2001. The founder of the company the parent company that I'm with, Living Wealth, and we can talk about the Biltmore seminars coming up, but he introduced me to this book. It changed his life, and the book has changed my life also. Okay,
the book is called Becoming Your Own Banker, Unlock the Infinite Banking Concepts. It's by best-selling author R. Nelson Nash. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. You mentioned that you're doing a seminar. Let's talk about it real quickly, because I want to hear a lot more about what you do, too. So go ahead. What about this seminar? When is it?
It's Wednesday the 17th through Saturday the 20th, and you can go to the livingwealth.com website, and you can look at the availability, the days, and the times. And we're just going to go, first of all, we look at ourselves as educators first, and we want people to understand what they're doing with their money and where they can, where the shortfalls are. Because when you give up control of your money, you're really giving up control of your future.
Sure. Now, this is going to be happening, you said February 17th through the 20th. It's at the Biltmore?
Correct.
Okay, and you can check it out at livingwealth.com. You can also call him. Do you do any consultations with people? Do you do that kind of thing?
We can do a webinar. Yeah, absolutely. We can do that anytime. It's one of the best ways, give me an hour and a half of your time, and we can explain the concepts.
Their phone number is 480-326-7953. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. Get entered in to win. We've got 3 of them we're giving away. Becoming Your Own Banker. Unlock the Infinite Banking Concepts. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what it is that you think. What is your definition of money?
Well, I think everyone has to kind of understand that money is nothing other than an exchange, right? We exchange money for food or a product or service. And so you could exchange food for money, money for food, car for money, money for car. And so what we do with the banking is when you do those transactions, in the past, that's where the transaction stops. Now, with what we're doing, we're adding one more step. And that step will allow you to not only have the product and service, but actually get your money back. Doesn't that
Okay,
sound
so
good?
how does that happen? So we are our own bankers.
Yes.
So we have our own bank. Does that mean that we have our own bank accounts? Like we keep the money in the house? Where do we keep it?
It is in the whole life insurance policy.
In the
just
policy.
Just like the bank does.
Okay. So in other words, okay, so I got that. So you're mimicking what a bank does.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, let's talk a little bit about some of these other things. Do you believe in compound interest?
Well, what we try to do, right, is put our money away, and hopefully that compounding will give us more money in the future, right? You have a retirement plan yourself, Carol?
Yes.
Okay. So, there's limitations. You can only put so much money in there. You can't touch it until you're 59 and a half, or you'll get, taxes and penalties involved with that. So basically the game is set up for you. So, but in order for money to work, money has to move, right? Can you name me one company that uses compound interest?
No.
Any business. Go ahead.
Any business that
Yeah.
uses it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Just tell me.
No, you'd say banking, right?
Banking.
But really, they don't use it, right? They need our money, and we have to park it. We
Right,
have to,
that's
we
what
have
I
to
was
leave
gonna
it. And so we're actually violating a law of nature, right? And so, giving an example, if we look at a car dealership, do they keep all the cars in the lots and just hope that the cars appreciate? No, they've got to move that. Same thing with a grocery store. You have to. They're not going to make any money unless food flies off the shelf.
Right.
But so what they do when they ask for our money is they're asking to see that money, and they're using that money. They're always going to get paid, but it's a situation where they're not doing it themselves. So we're saying, look, in order to make money, we want to act like they do. We need to put that money in motion.
Now, you teach these. This is a seminar that you actually teach, correct?
Correct. These are things that we'll go over at the Biltmore as well as we do in our webinars.
Okay. Now, again, he is the owner of this. We are entering everyone into Becoming Your Own Banker. It's Unlock the Infinite Banking Concepts. It's by best-selling author R. Nelson Nash, and our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. It's really learning a different way of how to make your money grow, is what I'm thinking.
Absolutely.
Am I correct?
Yeah.
Right. It's about growing what you have.
It's not what we're taught. It's what we're told to do. Right, and so we're all kind of like sheep. We're just doing what they're telling us to do, but they don't do it themselves. And so we're saying there's a better way. Let's just mimic what they're doing.
Right. So there is a better way to make your money grow.
Absolutely.
And they also do consultations with you. Their phone number is 480-326-7953. Or you can call in here. We're going to get you connected with them and also get entered into winning the book at 602-277-5369. So why not mutual funds and investing in the market? Why not that? I mean, I would know. I kind of know. I think a lot of us know about not the market right now.
Yeah. I mean, the volatility obviously is crazy right now. But what we want to do is, again, most people don't understand what their mutual funds are doing anyways. They usually understand that maybe it's a low risk, medium risk, or a high risk, or it goes up and down. But other than that, they don't have a clue. And so when you can control your money, we want these guarantees. And we're going to have guarantees with the banking. A policy always has a guarantee. And so if you look at, we're always being told that you're going to make 10% or in the market, and it's just not true. If you look at, there's something called Delbar. It was a 30-year study. This company, if you go delbar.com, D-A-L-B-A-R, and what they looked at is it's a quantitative analysis of all investors. And so they looked at a 10-year return. It was 2.6%. 20-year return, 2.5%, and a 30-year return was only 1.9%. And that's crazy. You're better off because inflation could be closer to 2.4 to 3. You could bury it in your backyard or put it under your mattress and still have more money than what you're seeing because financial managers are going to get paid. Good months, bad months, and so we want to be in control of our own money. Does that make sense?
When they put the money into what was it called that you said originally?
We're using the whole life insurance policy.
A whole life insurance policy. Is it any particular one?
It's got to be a mutually owned company because it has to be able to pay dividends. We can't have something that's traded in the stock exchange because they're beholden to their shareholders.
Right. Okay. Now we're going to go to a break. When we come back, we're going to talk further a little bit about this. This is very interesting. Don't forget that they're having a webinar. It is starting the 17th of February all the way through the 20th at the Biltmore. You can check it out on their website. All of the times and everything is going to be on there, which is livingwealth.com. They do free consultations, 480-326-7953. And you can call in here and you're going to get entered in to win. We've got 3 of these books we're giving away. Becoming Your Own Banker. Unlock the infinite banking concepts. 602-277-5369.
If I traded it all,
Welcome back.
if I gave it
So we're talking with Dr. Woolston, and he's the owner of Legacy Wealth Strategies. And, at the break, we were talking a little bit about how you do it, and I want to be able to let everybody else who had maybe not heard it at the, when they're just coming in with the break and everything, exactly how you become your own banker.
Right. Well, we structure this through a whole life insurance policy, right, that pays dividends. And so the way we structure it, we make the policy cash heavy. And so we want you to be able to use that money within 30 days. And so a traditional insurance agent is going to actually write a policy, and it could take 5 to 7 years before there's anything that's accumulated that would be worth working with. So just like we just talked about before, we need motion. A traditional bank, a conventional bank is going to always move your money. And so we want to move our money.
So if you want to become your own banker and be in control of your own money and making more money off of that, we have our lines open here. We have 3 books that we're giving away. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. It's Becoming Your Own Banker, Unlock the Infinite Banking Concepts. It's by best-selling author R. Nelson Nash. And you can call here at 602-277-5369. You do these webinars. A lot of people want to, you can reach a lot of people that way.
Right.
So you're also having the seminar that's coming up very soon on February. You can also check them out on their website, which is, you'll see all the information of where the seminars are and all of the days and times that they are at livingwealth.com. So now let's go into these. You have 3 questions about money that you want to ask everyone.
Sure. What we do, we say, look, is $1 worth more today or in the future? What would you say?
Well, we would hope it would be more in the future, correct?
It's not.
It's not.
There's always inflation, right? If you look at it when you're a kid, how many candy bars you could get as a kid versus what you can get now.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Right.
Now, do you think taxes are going to go up in the future, or are they going to go down?
Well, we always know they're going up.
It's
much.
probably pretty accurate, right? In the older we get, maybe we lose tax credits for children or a mortgage, right? And so the last part, it's a silly kind of question maybe, but would you rather pay taxes on a small amount or a large amount?
Small amount.
I would too. And so, but we violate all of those principles when we have a retirement plan, right? And so what I mean by that, we're trading a weaker dollar in the future for, we're trading that strong dollar for a weaker dollar in the future.
Let me ask you something. Does this take place of a retirement account, or is it kind of go along with it?
You know what? We say start here. This can be a stepping stone for anything. You can still, do real estate. You can still do the stock market. You can still do everything. But like I said before, we're in the past, every product or service that you bought in the past, now we're doing that one extra step where we can recapture the money.
Would you suggest that with people with doing this when they're becoming their own banker, would they be something that they do all of their money in or part of their money in, or how do you suggest that?
Well,
are you going to go all full in?
You know what? You go as much as you can, and actually, and R. Nelson Nash he puts it out in illustrations, and he said eventually your income needs to meet your policies or equal your policies. So it's radical thinking in some ways, just because we're not taught this. But when you see how the policies work, people really get involved in this and buy more policies.
Now, they do free consultations. He also does webinars for people. He wants to teach you a little bit about how to become your own banker. You can call him. His phone number direct, it's 480-326-7953. We've got 3 of these books that we're giving away here on the station, so just give us a call here at 602-277-5369. It's information for you. You can see it, you can read it, you can decide, is this right for you or not? And again, I like the idea of somebody, this is like somebody my age, maybe somebody who's in their 40s or 50s is starting off and just starting to their life and starting before they actually go in and get ready for a retirement account.
Well, but look at this. The average American has $99,000 in their retirement account. That's not going to last long. And so when we're just relying on the stock market, and we just lost 2 years of growth. And so if this is the time you're supposed to be pulling out your money, the most telling statistic that we have to look at is the baby boomers are aging and starting to pull their money out. 2013 was the first time that more money came out of mutual funds than went in. Baby boomers own 70%. And so what we're looking at is that's going to happen for the next 16, 17 years.
There's a lot of baby boomers that listen to this station, this show.
Right. And baby boomers, in my practice, they're the only ones who really have money, right? And so things have moved along with the baby boomers generation. And so just as, senior living and things like that are happening now, are flourishing, and everything's moving with that generation. But there's nothing behind it to back them up. And so the market has to go down if you just from a pure mathematical situation.
So how do banks work?
Well, again, banks, when we put our money in there, if I put $100 in there, I would expect that I go back in, I'm not going to get that same $100 out, right? They constantly have to move. So all their money that we put in there, it's a liability to them. They have to make that money move, and how do they do that? With a loan, right? So loans are assets to them, and so that's how we have to structure our banking too. Loans are assets to us.
How do we loan to us?
We borrow. We take a loan from our policy.
Okay.
Okay, and so there's always a fee associated with that, but we have 3 principles that we try to live by. Is we pay ourselves back with interest, and we recapture debt. And so we can overcome these fees by moving the money and paying off credit cards, mortgages, car fees, you name it.
Well, how long have you been doing this yourself?
I'll be about 5 years in March next month.
Wow, that's incredible. So, and you're here to say that it works.
To say it's changed my life.
It's changed your life.
Business-wise as well as personally.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how are the policies structured? How are those? How does that work?
Like I said before, we make it cash heavy, and so we take a 60% cut on that commission by making it cash heavy. A traditional policy is going to be written up, and it's going to take a long time for any accumulation there, and so it's something that we need this money to be in motion. And so with this company, that Living Wealth, that we're doing the seminar, we have 4,400 patients or clients, I should say, and 91% of those have come back for another policy, and 70% will come back in 6 months, because this is efficient, it's working, it's doing exactly what we say. You can look at what 10 years down the road, 20 years down the road, and you'll know how much money you'll have access to, unlike a 401k, a Roth, etc.
Right. And now these seminars, real quickly before we go, tell them about them again.
All right. So it's Wednesday the 17th through Saturday the 20th. We've got beginner courses, advanced courses. We've got a business course on Friday, and what we call a family legacy workshop. And so what we're doing. This is what the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the very rich families have been doing forever, okay? And so they've learned to keep the money in their family. And so if we can teach generation to generation to pass this money down, and it's tax-free. And so we have parents, that are lending to their kids, and grandparents, that lending to, and so you're keeping that money in the family.
Right. It makes sense. So people can become their own banker. You can learn through him. He does free consultations. You also do these webinars for people. You're having the seminar. You can check out the seminar and all the information on it at livingwealth.com. His phone number direct for any kind of questions that you might have is 7953. And I got my numbers here. I'm going to let you call throughout the rest of the show because we want everybody to get the information on this and get entered into win. We've got 3 of these books that we're giving away here. It's Becoming Your Own Banker, Unlock the Infinite Banking Concept. It's by best-selling author R. Nelson Nash. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Keep it in the family. Keep it in.
That's where the
keep
power
it
is.
moving. What are your final words for today?
You know what? Back in 2008, Warren Buffett made this quote or said this thing. It said, if the poor people would just start doing what rich people do, they wouldn't be poor anymore.
Well, they wouldn't be poor anymore. They'd like to have money to do it. I think that's the whole thing that people would say. But there are a lot of people out there that are hardworking people that may not be money like the Rockefellers, but they could certainly do it the same way.
Life is a marathon, right? It's not a sprint. You just start where you're at. And if it's small amounts, or large amounts, it really doesn't matter. You just have to start.
You just have to start. Keeping it in the family sounds like a good thing to me, guys. Again, the book we're going to let you call throughout the rest of the show. It's Becoming Your Own Banker, Unlock the Infinite Banking Concept. It's by best-selling author R. Nelson Nash. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. You can also check them out at livingwealth.com and check out about the seminars there.